You've got to have Friends. Jane McDonald on breakups, inspiration and her new TV show. Life hasn't always been plain sailing for Jane McDonald. Having glided into our lives and hearts 20 years ago when she appeared in BBC documentary series The Cruise, the singer quickly became the standout star with viewing viewers of 14 million. Jane's enjoyed a No. 1 album, huge tours and released a best-selling autobiography, Follow Your Dreams, in 2000. But despite marrying the man of her dreams Henrik Brykson, who was also her manager, the couple split in 2002. As we sit down to discuss Jane's latest adventure, her Channel 5 series Jane McDonald and Friends, she is upbeat about the breakup. When my marriage broke down, it was the worst time for me. My whole life fell apart, she says. But you know what? A bit of tragedy now and again does you good. I see it in your eyes through that, so I wrote some of my best stuff through tragedy. So I can only be thankful for that. Today, Jane tells us that she's happier than ever. And it's not just down to her new partner Ed being the best guy in the world. Personally, the highest point is right now. Having 2 primetime TV shows. One of them is doing really well, she says, referring to her travel show Cruising with Jane McDonald, which has become a huge hit. Having a 20-year anniversary tour, which is selling extremely well, and all my fans being right there with me. Having my own album out, with all my own songs, is a massive achievement for me as an artist. The ultimate gig. How then, does she top that? By going back to the very thing that made her famous in the first place and doing what she does best, singing. Because the other primetime TV show she's referring to is her new Friday night series, Jane McDonald and Friends. It is, she says, a nod to shows of the past. I grew up watching Tom Jones, Cliff Richard, Cilla and Morecambe and Wise. There was always a big Saturday night show where all the family sat down, and I know that's different now, but there's still a huge audience that want to be entertained and see stars on it. And that's going to be my show. Jane tells us that that came about after TV producers popped along to see the former loose woman in one of her wildlife shows. Channel 5 came and saw that and said, "We want that on television," explains Jane. So I said, "Brilliant, I can do that." I've got my own band, singers and sound crew. Brilliant guests, great entertainers with some big stars coming on. We've got dancers. This is my ultimate gig. Feel-good factor. She explains that she thinks the time is now for a little bit of glitz and glamour and generally just cheering up the UK. We all need a little bit of escapism, she says. There's so many things that are depressing on television, so let's just have a bit of feel-good telly. That's really what I'm all about. I want it to be pink and lovely with sequins and feathers. Jane will be belting out the hits, but she's also joined by superstar musical guests each week. Does she have a dream guest? I'd love Elton John, she beams. I love his music. I know he's a busy fella, but it'd be nice, wouldn't it? I can dream, can't I? In addition to musical numbers, Jane McDonald and Friends also features moments where Jane surprises ordinary members of the public who have done good deeds. So far, so Scylla. But Jane's happy with that. Yeah, she agrees. But that's always been my shtick as well. But to even be likened to Scylla, I am honored with that. It's clear her heart is set on the showbiz glamour of Jane McDonald and Friends. For me, it's the ultimate, she beams. It's what I've been doing for 20 years with my own show out in the provinces. Jane McDonald and Friends dominates Friday nights on Channel 5, and there's a new series of cruising in the pipeline. Then there's her 20th anniversary tour kicking off in June and the possibility of releasing more music. So is there a chance she might turn her hand to another television format before the end of 2018? Are you trying to kill me? She laughs. I've got so much on, my schedule is the biggest joke. Jane McDonald and Friends, 9 p.m, Friday, Channel 5. This article was written in partnership with Channel 5 for Daily Star.